Fellow Nigerians, this press statement is issued today, April 15th, 2019, on the question of nationalities and/or identities of the two presidential frontrunners in Nigeria's 2019 elections. Gentlemen and ladies of the press, there are two issues that I will be discussing. One is the Buhari government challenges of Atiku's citizenship. In the course of presenting the evidence and counter-evidence in response to the 2019 Presidential Election Tribunal Court in the matter brought by the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar against INEC in the conduct and results of the recently concluded presidential election in Nigeria, the lawyers representing the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, leveled the accusation of non-citizenship against Atiku. Many Nigerians, including yours truly, immediately considered the idea to be a laughable and expensive practical joke, if not outrightly ridiculous. This is because Atiku Abubakar is a larger-than-life public figure of humongous dimension, having risen to the height of his career in Nigeria's civil service. He had also been successfully elected as the state governor of Adamawa and served as the vice president of Nigeria for 2 terms. However, as the assertion by Buhari men developed, with the double-down historic evidence of Jada, Adamawa State, believed to be Atiku's birthplace, being a landmass of the former British protectorate colony known as British Cameroonian, not part of today's country of Cameroon, but Nigeria, many were hit with the reality that these Buhari men were dead serious about their Atiku's non-citizenship claim. The question is, why hadn't this conspiracy of the Nigerian non-citizenship of Atiku been advanced until now? The timing appears to be both political and strategic. Political in the sense of using the non-citizenship allegation as a turncoat and trump card joker aimed at nipping in the bud any possible challenge by Atiku and the PDP to the 2019 presidential election results. Secondly, strategic in the sense of setting the 2019 Presidential Election Petition Tribunal on a rabbit trail to divert attention from the real issues of INEC's fraudulent conduct and resulting of the 2019 presidential elections, and to also set up a time-consuming chase of an entirely wrong line of legal inquiry. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1963, Chapter 11, Section 1, subsections 1 and 2, is very clear as to the question of Nigerian citizenship. The authority of the 1963 Constitution and Nigerian citizenship predates, supersedes all subsequent Nigerian constitutions. It is firm and irreversible. Chapter 11, Section 7, subsection 1 of that Constitution states, and I quote, "Every person who, having been born in the former colony or a protectorate of Nigeria on the 30th day of September 1960, a citizen of the United Kingdom and colonies, or a British protected person, shall become a citizen of Nigeria, provided that that person shall not become a citizen if by virtue of this subsection neither of his parents or any of his grandparents was born in the former colony of or protectorate of Nigeria. Chapter 11, Section 7, Subsection 2 says, and I quote, every person who having been born outside the former colony and the protectorate of Nigeria on the 30th day of September 1960, a citizen of the United Kingdom and colonies of a British protected person, shall, if his father was born in the former colony or protectorate and was a citizen of the United Kingdom and protectorate or British protected person, on the 30th day of September 1960, become a citizen of Nigeria on the first day of October 1960. Therefore, we say here that no amount of legal rascality can charm away or lull to sleep, enchant or deceive the brilliant legal minds represented on the Nigerian bar, especially concerning Atiku's citizenship qualification to be the president of Nigeria. So we can comfortably leave the resolution of Atiku's citizenship question to the law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the courts. But more important than Atiku's citizenship or not, we must warn that the question of Jada in Adamawa State not being a part of Nigeria up until around 1946, when Atiku was born, opens up a Pandora's box with the sordid implication that some people who thought they were Nigerians and living in states that share borders with Nigeria's neighboring countries, including Cameroon, have been illegitimately voting in Nigeria's elections. By deduction, Nigeria is poised to make this population of people caught in the citizenship debacle stateless, and by extension, dispossess them of their land inheritance. The second topic that I will be talking about is on Atiku and the PDP challenge to Buhari on his identity. Since the past year or so, the rumor initiated by Nnamdi Kanu, the supreme leader of IPOB, has been rife that the current occupant of the Aso Rock Villa as the president of Nigeria is not the Buhari that was voted into office in 2015, but a body double impostor from Sudan, Jibril Aminu al-Sudani. This pervasive conspiracy narrative had claimed that President Buhari died since 2017 and he did not survive his treatment in the UK. Consequently, there was the need to avoid the repeat of the power shift calamity that befell the northern oligarchy following President Musa Yar'Adua's prolonged illness and death abroad in 2009. Could this allegation be true? In response to the accusation leveled against him of not being a Nigerian citizen, Nigeria's former vice president and the PDP 2019 presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, was reported to have recently lent his voice to the question of the identity of the current occupant of the seat of Nigeria's presidency. Atiku had been reported to have claimed that the Aso Rock Villa Buhari is a Sudanese replacement of our own Nigerian Buhari. This sudden revelation by Atiku against Jibril Aminu al-Sudani, the fake Buhari, has caused a severe and uncomfortable perturbation of Nigeria's polity, especially post the 2019 presidential elections. Surely, there could not be a smoke without fire. Wherein lies the fine line between fact and fiction concerning Jibril Aminu al-Sudani, the fake Buhari. Atiku's allegation, also supported by Buba Galadima, against the identity of Buhari is poignantly audacious, extremely dangerous to the presidential cabal. It must be investigated and legally defended by Buhari himself. Otherwise, regardless of the 2019 presidential election issues, Atiku and the others that have been making the impostor assertion of Jibril Aminu al-Sudani may be labeled with inciting disaffection against the sitting president of Nigeria and instigating insurrection against the Federal Republic of Nigeria with the possible culpability for sedition and treasonable felony. It will be a heinous crime of incomprehensible proportionality against Nigeria for a Jibril Aminu al-Sudani, a fake Buhari, to sign official documents on behalf of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Commander-in-Chief of Nigeria's Armed Forces in connection with legislative matters such as signing communication letters as well as giving signatory assent to legislative and or executive bills, including the national budget document. Also, sitting on and issuing official directives and instructions to Nigeria's apex financial institution, the Central Bank of Nigeria, as well as the major revenue-earning sector of Nigeria, the oil sector, by a Jibril Aminu al-Sudani will be criminal. Atiku must be allowed to rescue Nigeria from Jibril Aminu al-Sudani, though through a diligent interrogation of the Jibril Aminu al-Sudani fraud. The courts must avail Atiku the opportunity to prove the validity of his identity allegation against President Muhammadu Buhari, and also why he, Buhari, must be given the benefit of not guilty until proven guilty. To uncover the truth or otherwise of the Jibril Aminu al-Sudani conspiracy theory, the scientific and forensic tool of genetic fingerprinting should be employed. Now, and in doing so, this must be a court-ordered and forensic expert-supervised DNA analysis of Buhari in comparison to the paternal DNA analysis of all, if not all, Buhari's biological children, especially those whom he fathered with his current wife, Dr. Mrs. Aisha Buhari. The result of President Buhari's familial DNA analysis will help to calm the frayedness of Nigerians who might have been initially skeptical about the true identity of President Muhammadu Buhari, should the result be positive for the true Buhari. Nigerians will be able to heave a big sigh of relief that they were not governed and have never been governed by a non-entity impostor, Jibril Aminu al-Sudani, but substantively by the very Muhammadu Buhari voted into office since 2015. On the other hand, should the DNA analysis be negative for the true Buhari, it would have helped to expose the world's most astonishing case of identity theft and high-profile misrepresentation, as well as the greatest hoax and fraud ever pulled against more than 200 million Nigerians living at home and abroad. It will also incur an inestimable damage against Nigeria's global reputation. In conclusion, There are two conclusions. One, the Nigerian government must come out to openly and definitively defend the citizenship of all Nigerians living within the territorial boundaries of the country and in the diaspora, in reference to the authority of the Nigerian Constitution of 1963, Chapter 11, Section 7, subsections 1 and 2. 2. Buhari must prove his identity to the courts and to all Nigerians in order to dispel the conspiracy theory of being represented by an impostor. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.